Hi, I'm Scott Naismith and I'm back for 2019 first video of the year, and hopefully it'll be first of a few on colour theory. You will see my link to the colour theory playlist on the description of the video. This one is about creating the 2019 colour of the year, which is Living Coral, Pantone's colour of the year for 2019. And this is thanks to iCanvas, because iCanvas has asked me to do something about it, because they are featuring a bunch of prints that are kind of loosely based around this colour. And just behind me are two of my iCanvas prints. You'll find them at iCanvas.com/Scott Naismith or something. I'll leave that link in the description, but also a link to all this stuff that is Living Coral based. I've reviewed these iCanvas prints before in the past on my channel, and they sent me these recently, which are every bit as good, if not exceed the quality previously. Really good prints. They come with the wedges to keep the tension. They are mirrored at the sides, so you don't lose any of the image, and their images on the side. And also they have sent me over one of the framed ones, really nicely framed at a great price. They are my US suppliers of open edition prints, iCanvas.com. Now, it seems quite appropriate because if you know my video, the beauty of magenta, you'll know that I use magenta quite a lot in my work. On the web page for Pantone's Living Coral, they give a really good description of what it is. An animating and life-affirming, that seems quite life-affirming colour, coral hue with a golden undertone that energizes and enlivens with a softer edge. And I think that's a really, well, it seems quite sensationalist. It's kind of enlivens with a softer edge is really good to describe it, I think. And we're going to get into also that comment about golden undertone. First of all, with opaque paint. Now, the undertones of opaque paint become apparent when we start to kind of lighten using white. And just to explain just now, I've got, I'll show you a picture of them coming up, a kind of association at the moment with a Wallace Seymour Paints. Now, I thought I'd mention that as well because they're really not known very well, but they are of superb quality. They've got, they're oil paints with zero fillers in them. I like to call them all killer, no filler. So, what I have for you is a selection of magentas. This is them. Brilliant Rose, Velvet Rose, Quinacridone Magenta, and Magenta. What I've prepared down here are all the different kind of variations using zinc white and these different magentas. And I've come through the spectrum of different kind of soft candy flossy pinks, which they kind of create, mixed with cadmium orange. This is a genuine cadmium orange deep, series 4 from Wallace Seymour. And the cadmium, the closest color really to this thing is almost like a lightened with white cadmium red, but we get too pinky and we get too reddish. There's a softness to this that's quite orangey and quite pinky, which is a strange thing because in the spectrum of color between pink and orange we have red, between magenta and orange we have red. So you would think that you could just take red and then lighten it. You could do, but to mix the orange with the pink sometimes seems a better thing to do with oil painting. Why that is is also because of color modulation. You want to modulate the color to go slightly more orangey, slightly more pinky, to give you a variation in that color. Warm it, cool it, and do these kinds of things with it. So you want to modulate color. Obviously, if you're using flat color, any graphic design kind of work, anything like that, you're probably not mixing the color anyway. So to mix it, cadmium orange, and what I felt is the best for opaque is Brilliant Rose. Now, what I normally sort of do when I mix it with white is I use zinc white. It sort of reveals the undertone of the paint better. It's softer on the hues. However, in this occasion, using titanium white, I have created what I think is this dusty pink. It's got this kind of softness to it. It comes with this softness. Now the titanium white brings it a little bit more chalky, but I think as an opaque version of this, I think that is pretty much what we're looking for. And that is Brilliant Rose mixed with cadmium orange and titanium white. Now what we're going to do here is, this is cadmium orange and cadmium orange. This is acrylic. Now what I also do at times is use acrylic paint and then oil on top. So what I'm going to do is, this is oil paint, cadmium orange deep in oil, and this I'm thinking might be good for that, what they describe as a golden undertone. Now the difference between using transparent paint and opaque paint is that we want to be working with a medium, and I'm going to be working with fast drying oil glaze, also Wallace Seymour. So a fast drying oil glaze, just to glaze over the top of an opaque color. Just a touch of that. And actually what I'll do is completely oil out. It's called oiling out when you just apply a layer of medium to that. And I'm going right across the acrylic paint into the oil paint, which is a pinkier version, which is that cadmium orange deep in oil and cadmium orange hue. And again, it's an Wallace Seymour fine acrylics, and that's cadmium orange hue. This time we want to use a quinacridone magenta. These oranges have been lightened with zinc white. Zinc white won't be apparent in acrylic colours. It's about the bonding with zinc. It doesn't take to acrylic, the acrylic bonding of the paint. You can't get zinc white in acrylics. But what Wallace Seymour do is that's the pastel medium, is they've got a tinting white which can be better on the colours than using titanium. Okay, I am just going to apply this directly to here. You can possibly ignore this bit, this will be for the next video. Now the good thing with applying a glaze on top is you can be quite heavy-handed with it, and then you can pull it back. So there's a layer of it, and with these kind of high pigment content colors, you can go quite intense and then bring it back. A little bit medium and thin out. Now you end up with a color that kind of glows, and it creates what's called an optical glaze, an optical mix. So we have this version of the color which seems to have more depth to it. Now what it's lost is the initial colour was very candy flossy, very dusty, a dusty colour. Now it doesn't mean it's a different hue, it just means that it's not it's not that overall lightness of colour. Now you can, if you want, in your glaze over the top, add zinc white. Now this is important that it's zinc white, not titanium white. Titanium white is going to be completely opaque and take away any of the underneath colour. But if you want just a little bit of zinc white, and it will be a semi-transparent glaze. Now too much of the zinc white will give you just a light, an opaque light version of the quinacridone magenta. But the more you thin that out, I'll thin it out in the next layer, so that's this is almost totally opaque here. So I'll just add a little medium, and there we've got something that's lightened a touch, and we can see a little bit less of the colour beneath. I'll throw up an image of these together. So it's got a little bit less of the colour beneath. And becomes translucent and not totally transparent. So there you got it. Living Coral, Pantone Colour for 2019. Hopefully I'll see you a lot more in 2019 with some more videos from the studio. Videos coming up I have in mind. This is going to be a diagram getting back into those primary colours, CMY, just as a bit of a looking back at the truth about the colour wheel. So the next video is going to be about selecting those primary colours and how to create those saturated secondaries with the three primary colours. See you in the next video. Don't forget to hit like if you've liked it, hit the thumbs down if you think it's awful, and give me lots of abuse in the comments. Just kidding. See you in the next video, and Happy New Year to you all.